Hi everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Ungrownups video transmission. I'm your host Mark, and today we're taking a look at our very first Hot Toys 1/6 scale collectible action figure. We're going to be looking today at the Hot Toys MMS 79 Bank Robber Joker. Now, while this is the first time we're taking a look at a Hot Toys figure, this is certainly not the very first time that I've ever bought a Hot Toys figure. I've actually been collecting Hot Toys for about 4 years now, and I gotta tell you, I've just never been interested in reviewing the figures. Not for any particular reason. I mean, it's just I think that they deserve a lot of respect and time. I think if you're going to review a Hot Toys figure, that you need to do it right. And I've just never really had the time that I think they deserve to take to review. You know, there's been so many guys out there that review Hot Toys figures, and they're so much better at it than I think I ever could be. So I guess there's just, you know, several reasons why I've just never really sat down and taken the time to do so. But I actually filmed a video the other night sort of talking about why I wanted to get into sort of reviewing these figures now and throw my hat in the ring into the 1/6 scale collector review community. And I'll put a link to that video below. You'll just click show more and you'll see a link to that video. Sort of explaining why I'm just now starting to do it. So why is this 2013 and why am I looking at a figure that came out 4 years ago? Well, to be honest, you know, I don't have that large of a Hot Toys collection. I have about 15, 16 figures, and depending on how you count them. And you know, for the most part, really and truly, this was like the oldest figure that I own. I did previously own the MMS, what was it, 67 and 68 Batman and Joker figures. Those were the actual first Hot Toys figures I bought, and I bought them based on the fact that, you know, I honestly thought that Joker was the best likeness of Heath Ledger I'd ever seen, the only likeness of Heath Ledger I'd ever seen, and I was a huge fan. Boy, was I wrong, because that Joker was way off. But at the time, 4 years ago, wow, it looked amazing. It looked amazing well until this guy came out. When this guy came out, it completely blew him out of the water. So I'm a huge Joker fan. I mean, anybody who knows me personally knows that. I mean, you don't have to look really any further than my family. My 2-year-old son, his middle name is Ledger, and I have an English bulldog, and his name is Joker. So, you know, my love for this character really runs deep. And in particular, this version of the Joker is by far, hands down, my favorite version of the Joker. So, you know, I just decided if I'm going to review these figures, instead of reviewing, you know, the DX07 Luke or the DX12 Batman, both of which just came out, both of which I just got, I figured I would just start with the very first and oldest figure in my collection and start there and work my way forward. So if you guys will just bear with me over the coming weeks and months, I'll sort of work through my collection and sort of get to these figures as I can, get to these reviews as I can. So we're going to first take a look at this box. I absolutely love this box of, you know, this side of being a DX box. This is like my favorite Hot Toys box, simply because I just love how it's sort of, it's all mishmashy. You know, you've got the sort of the bills on the front, and how, you know, Joker's already made those up with his iconic smile and circular eyes. I love that you get the, you know, sort of a hand painted look at the Joker's mask here, which I love, and we'll talk more about that mask later. And then flipping it around here on the side, you can see the money's getting burnt and a little dirtier. And then here on the back, we get our first proper look at the figure. You've got Joker standing up right here, looking pretty tough. Love this photograph. That right there, that could almost be a still from the film. You guys know it. You know how good this guy looks. A couple other shots of the Joker here, and underneath, you know, this is just your typical slipcase. This just this slides right off. Let's see if I can do this. With one arm. There we go. Alright. So this just slides right off. Got this awesome illustration. I would love to have this as a poster, as a matter of fact. So Hot Toys, get on that. Sell me a print of this. I'll give you my money. This awesome picture right here of, you know, what looks to be an illuminated illustration. You know, something that may be found either on a playing card or money. It looks really great. Bank robber version. Love this right here. This town deserves a better class of criminal. Absolutely. So let's get this turned around right here. Open right up. Another big proper look at the Joker right there, nodding his head to his business card. I'll open this up. You guys can pause this right here if you want to read that. I don't even know if you can read that. But yeah, so, I didn't bother sticking the figure back in here. He's been on my shelf for, 4 years now. So what we're going to do is we're going to just get this closed up, get everything reset, repositioned, and let's take a proper look at the Joker, the bank robber version. Alright, so here we have the Joker opened up and out of his package, and I gotta tell you guys, it is very serendipitous for me that the very first figure that I'm going to be reviewing out of my Hot Toys collection also happens to be my absolute most favorite figure in my Hot Toys collection, and I can say that without any hesitation, without any trepidation at all. This is hands down my ultimate favorite Hot Toys figure. I'm not saying by far it is the best figure Hot Toys has ever put out. I'm not even saying it's the best Joker figure that Hot Toys has ever put out. I'm just saying that for me personally, this is my absolute favorite figure. For several reasons. One, as I said earlier, I'm a huge Joker fan. And of all the versions of the Joker that we got to see in The Dark Knight, this is my favorite. Maybe it's because of the fact that this is the only time we ever see him in his gray suit and sneakers, maybe it's the clown mask. I'm not sure. I do know that I just happen to particularly love this figure design. And it's for me, very reminiscent of one of my other favorite crime dramas, which is Heat. And I love the way the guys looked in that movie during the heist scene. When they've got on their suits and they've got the hockey masks on and the duffel bags and the assault rifles. I really love the way those characters look. I love that design. A masked person in a suit. I think that's kind of cool. And I don't think that there's any coincidence there that I've read in several interviews and in different sources that before Nolan starts production on a film, he likes to sit his cast and crew down and sort of screen a couple of movies, 2 to 3 movies for them, so they can get a feel of the kind of movie that he wants to make, whether it's the tone of the film or the look of the film, whatever intrinsic value that you want to walk away from the screening, he wants you to take from it. Whatever you get from it is great, but he wants to show you what the movie you're about to make, what you're about to embark on is going to be like, or what he wants it to be like. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Heat was indeed one of the 2 or 3 films that he showed the cast and crew before filming The Dark Knight. So a little bit of that design DNA, I'm pretty sure, worked its way down from Heat to the Dark Knight, and I just think that that's absolutely wonderful. So, I always have to ask myself what I consider, what I air quotes called the burning question. And the burning question is, if my toy cabinet was on fire and I only had enough time to save one figure, what would it be? It would have to be this figure here. I just don't see myself, unless they remake it. For some reason, I don't see myself ever getting rid of this figure. And, here we are, it's January of 2013. You can still find this guy online, although, on eBay, I think he sells at a steady clip of, $200 to $300. So, I just absolutely love him. I think he's fantastic. So, as you can see here, here's a group of everything he comes with. He has a little pack of playing cards and money. He comes with his pistol, his duffel bag full of various grenades, an extra head, which is always good, and he also comes with his clown mask. You could tell this is an old Hot Toys figure. It only comes with 2 hands. I mean, nowadays they give you like 63 hands when you buy a new figure. He also comes with his assault rifle in the background, or his submachine gun. So yeah, this is the figure opened up and out of the package. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a much closer look and get into some of the details of the figure and do an up and down on this guy and check him out in closer detail. Okay, so before we take a look at the figure top to bottom, I really wanted to take some time to look at the accessories that he comes with. I've never really taken these out of the package, but as you can see right here, he does come with, several, not a full deck, but several playing cards. I'm assuming they're all Jokers. And some very nice money that you can see even has the little Joker eyes and mouth written on the bills. It's actually really cool that they took the time to do that, and they're in scale. It looks great. Like I said earlier, I mean, this figure only comes with 4 hands. This was well before new standards of the numerous hands that they give us. We have a hand here that looks like, it's like a gesturing hand, one that could, possibly hold a grenade, a hand grenade inside of it. I'm not sure. You could probably put a card in there, maybe, but this is more of a gesturing hand. Maybe one for pulling up his mask or tipping his mask. I think is really good. A good idea for that hand. We've got your right hand, sort of right hand holding a pistol trigger finger, going here at left hand. I'm sorry. And this is for that great scene when he shoots the guy while walking away over his shoulder, which is kind of cool. This is a really interesting gun hand here. I think you could use this hand, hold it up. You can slide some cards or some bills in there in between his index finger and middle finger. But what I really like about this hand is, and you can see it here, is that he's actually, when this is put on in a straight horizontal position, he's not actually pointing the gun. He's actually kind of pointing it down. So you do have to sort of raise the hand up a little bit to get this gun to sort of point forward, and that sort of really changes the dynamic and the way that his arm is positioned when holding the gun. And I love it because that's exactly how he held the gun in the movie. And so something as small and simple as a sculpted hand, pointing slightly down, changes the way that the figure stands and how he carries himself, and how you have to have his arm lifted. We'll look at this later when we look at the figure in several different poses. And then here, another hand. This one you could easily slide a card in. This is really the hand for sort of handing down, handing a business card, so to speak. Really good. I mean, all of the hands have this really black driver's glove sort of thing. Really nice detail. You can see the stitching. I mean, even for honestly, I think this figure maybe even came out 5 years ago. It may have come out in 2008, and even back then, I just remember being blown away, and I still am. And this figure, the sculpting on here is really good. Also, you've got this duffel bag with crazy amounts of detail. Crazy amounts of detail. I mean, this thing has got Velcro. It's got grenades that fall out when you don't want them to. That's always a really nice feature. It's got these zippered pouches on the side. And sorry, that's really getting blown out. See if I can fix that a little bit. Why is this thing blown out? Okay, so you can see down inside there, you actually are getting 3 smoke grenades, which, we didn't see him use those in the film, and then 4 hand grenades, and they all are removable. They actually come out, and you have to put them down in this foam, which is really nice. And if you do unzip these sides, there you'll find that there's just styrofoam pieces put in there, but you can actually zip this all the way down and then Velcro it shut. And also you can take out the styrofoam padding on the inside, and you could just toss the grenades in there, throw the rest of his accessories, his mask, his gun in there if you want. If you wanted to. This is a fantastic accessory, and spot on to what was used in the film. And I think that's not only does Hot Toys create fantastic, I mean, like almost lifelike miniature figures. Their craftsmanship on even like stuff like this is it's spot on, and it's their attention to detail that really separates Hot Toys from a lot of other companies. Here we have the Joker's mask, which is really cool, and it's made of a very soft rubber. It's very pliable, and it does have an elastic band on the back for strapping it around the back of the left head sculpt over there. This mask is fantastic, and I'll tell you a little something about this mask that some of you know, some of you may know, some of you may not. But this is actually not the first time this mask has actually been seen in the Batman universe. If you go back, and you can find this on YouTube and watch it, if you go back and watch the old original Adam West Batman and Robin TV show that used to come on in the 60s, you will see that this mask is actually an ode to the very first time we ever see the Joker. He is in clown makeup singing some sort of opera on TV, and here I'll post a picture so you can see. But as you can see. I actually didn't know that story, even after, reading and watching about the movie, watching the movie and after reading a lot about it. I didn't even know that. And it wasn't until recently when I went back and started watching the old episodes of the Batman TV show that I saw this and was completely amazed. So nice little nod there to even the old Adam West show, Nolan. That was a pretty slick move. So this is a fantastic accessory. You also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that this is this a Glock? Maybe a Glock 18? If I'm mistaken about that, please somebody down in the comments correct me. But I mean, check this out. It's got a sliding stock. It's on a little spring hinged assembly in there. It's got a little spring loaded. It also comes with a removable clip, 33 rounds, I believe. But yeah, you can see down in there. It's kind of cool that they, again, the attention to detail is crazy. And then we have the Smith & Wesson. This is a M76, I believe. It's got an extendable stock here. It folds flat against it. It also has the silencer that comes off, and I don't even know if I'm putting that on properly. I hope I am. And it too has a removable magazine. So again, always the attention to detail on this side. It's got a little cocking mechanism again on the spring load. Really cool. So this is a really nice gun. On my shelf in particular, I don't leave him standing with this gun. I've given this gun off to the DX02. Is that right? No, DX01 Joker actually has this gun on my shelf, since he did sort of have that outfit on when he used this gun in the movie. So I keep this guy loaded with this at all times, because you never know when you may have to ice another guy running up on you in the bank. So this is the first head sculpt. Amazing detail. I know that Hot Toys has perfected this head sculpt time and time again. But this one with the slick back hair, it even gives you the little recessed area for the mask. Just looks fantastic, and I'll definitely put the mask on when we get this guy into some poses later on. But it's got this little smirk. This was before the PERS system came about, so you can see even back then Hot Toys was still playing with the eyes and how the eyes, you have to tilt the head to get in certain positions. So this is definitely the eyes are looking up, pointed up, and it's sort of that devilish little looking up at you, head down kind of pose. So you definitely have to keep the head down for this guy. I just love this look, the slick back hair. He's just fantastic. Again, full neck, so there's no head motion. I will tell you that the one problem I did have with not really these, well, I guess with these heads, and not this one, but this one in particular, is the very first time I went to swap them out on the neck peg. This little inner ring right here actually came loose from inside the neck and remained on the neck peg. And boy, I tell you, that was a right bastard to get that thing off of that neck peg without breaking it. And then, having to glue the inside of the neck, glue the ring back in, and then leave it, clamped several days before it actually took hold. And even now, I don't put this head on the figure. He stays masked up. So I'm real leery about putting this head on and off. But, as you can see, one of the reasons I love this head sculpt so very much is that you get that smudging of the makeup, that looks like it was, of course it's intentional on Hot Toys' part, but certainly unintentional with the makeup artist in the movie, him smudging, or maybe it was intentional, sort of the smudging of the eye makeup into the white and the smearing of the red down into the white. This is one of the touches on this figure that is fantastic. And, you do get a separation right here around this particular part of the head, of the hairline. That does look a little bad, but the rest of the hair looks phenomenal, and the way it hangs is just so... I mean, like I said, I know they've perfected this head sculpt time and time again, and I know that there are far better head sculpts of Heath Ledger's Joker out there, but again, this is just one that I just always come back to. The makeup is smoky and very natural, and even where it's rubbed off a little bit here, where maybe he's had the mask on and pulled it off, It's just the touches on this head sculpt, even though it is 4 or 5 years old, it's amazing what they accomplished even back then. So fantastic head sculpt. Almost a reason enough alone to have this figure. So so that's a look at all of his accessories. Let's get this guy kitted up, and we're going to go into we're going to take a closer look at the whole figure top to bottom. Okay, so we got the accessories out of the way, and we're just going to be taking a look at the figure from head to toe in much closer detail. I just want to get back up on this head sculpt again and just show you guys, oh man, just how stellar this head sculpt is. I mean, look at that makeup. That paint is awesome. Like right there, right in this area, you can see where it looks like the mask may have rubbed his makeup off. Oh, that's so perfect. I mean, it's permanent, but it looks so temporary. It looks like it was just brushed on. It's great. You are starting to see the fault in the hairline, like right there. That's never really realized how noticeable that really is. But yeah, that could be much better. And of course, this is a much older figure, so Hot Toys has been getting their techniques down. So we don't see much more of that anymore. They're doing a really good job now of blending like where the hair stops and where the makeup begins. So it's really cool. Again, you can see it's a little sloppy around that top button, around the collar. That's really noticeable. That's just how mine shipped. I've never really fussed with that collar much. But, what are you going to do? It's a grandpa shirt anyway. It's a very odd choice. The tailoring of the jacket I think is really nice. I think it hugs him pretty well without being too, it doesn't look, I don't think it looks too bulky, too big. I think it's a pretty nice job on the tailoring. Here, if I get this stuff focus. He does have a bit of the grandpa pants going on too. They ride up a little bit. Indiana Jones has this problem too. Again, this was a much older figure, so they've done a much better job of, handling the detailing in these areas. It looks like his top button's unbuttoned, but it's not. It's as closed as I can get it. Again, you can see the detailing on the gloves. Really, really, really nice. I love this very dull gray color. I like how the fabric doesn't look like it's too worked or anything. It's a very comfortable, very loose fabric. You can see on his pants. Nice pockets on the sides of the jacket there. Nice little faux buttons. Always like those. The pants are pretty trim. They hug him very nice. I love the way they cut sort of a bunch right there at the bottom. And very nice detailing in the shoes. We've seen them progress so far in the Indiana Jones figure as to actually putting real laces in the shoes. But as you can see, so I set the camera down a little bit. Really, really super nice detail in his sneakers. Yeah, that's really, really, really cool. So, all in all, the up and down on this guy is just, this is really, really good. The suit fits him very well. Love that head sculpt. I just can't say enough about it. Looks so good. So, why don't we take a moment to get this guy in a couple of poses where you guys can stop listening to me ramble and just focus on the cool poses this guy offers up. I'll meet you back here in a few minutes with some final thoughts on the Hot Toys Bank Robber Joker. Okay, so here we have the figure back, and hope you guys enjoyed that little montage. I plan on doing one of those with every one of my figure reviews that I do. I kind of want to finish up with the pose that's going to go back on my shelf, and this is, for me, the most iconic pose for this particular figure. It's how he was on my shelf for the last few years. This guy is just something special. It holds a very special place in my heart, this figure does, and like I said, if the cabinet was on fire, this would be the one I'd grab. To me, this figure is just absolute perfection, head to toe, and I just, I can't fault it. I mean, it's got its little the hairline and some shoddy stitching and stuff around the top collar. I mean, those are nitpicks. I'm not gonna sit here and begrudge this figure one bit because of those things. So, like I said, I just want to show you how it's gonna go back on the shelf, and I highly recommend this figure. And if you don't have him in your collection by now, I wish you the best in trying to get one at a decent price, and he probably wouldn't be too hard to sort of kit bash together. I'm sure you can find all the parts and pieces on eBay to make one. This guy is phenomenal, and he's tops in my collection, no doubt. So, man, I really hope you guys dug my very first Hot Toys 1/6 scale collectible review. If you do, if you don't, whatever, just please leave me some comments in the space below. And as always, we're going to ask if you dug the review. Please like, comment, or subscribe, and be sure to join the conversation over at facebook.com/Ungrownups. And be sure to check out our podcast, which is new every 2 weeks, and you can find that at ungrownups.com or at iTunes. Just search for Ungrownups. And I think that's going to about do it. So until next time.